Hey, welcome back to the Design Mood. Today we'll be talking about Spectacles 3 by Snap Inc. Now I've done a previous video on the launch itself, and to be honest, compared to that first video, my excitement level has gone down pretty significantly. And I attribute that to the fact that I don't use Snapchat as much as I used to anymore. Now the fact is I opened this out of a UPS box as soon as I saw the glossy black against the matte black lettering. I got excited again. Now just a disclaimer, for those that have not visited my channel before, this is going to be a product review / design review. So I'll be talking about design more than your typical channel. Now let's start off by talking about the packaging. The packaging consists of matte black material which scratches very easily. And I don't know about you, but I'm a very oily person in general. So I noticed that the more I hold it, the more I can see kind of oil smudges here and there. But just to cover it, there is the glossy black against the matte black. Embossed, like I mentioned earlier. On the back, you'll see kind of fine print that it's by Snap Inc. This model in particular is the Spectacles 3 in carbon. It's made in China, nothing new. And this box is actually a sleeve. And so we take out the sleeve, like so. And what you get on the top is another embossed detail of what the spectacles looks like. This box, you take it off. Right there you get the Spectacles 3. Now, one thing I loved about this packaging detail is that it actually has some nice cute text that guides you throughout the process, such as start here. And when you open the Spectacles trifold glass case itself, you have a pull me. I'd also like to add that everything is pretty neatly packaged, making it feel like a premium product, which it should because I spent about $400 on it. So here is the charging case wrapped in this like leather band. Pretty unnecessary in my opinion, but it does give it some quality. You get a cleaning cloth. You get the spectacles itself, which is actually a charging case. And finally, you get a 3D viewer, much like the one you would see by Google Cardboard, which you can use to view your 3D videos that you take with your spectacles. Now I'm going to clean this in the background so we can get into the details of the spectacles itself. So as mentioned, the spectacles come in a trifold case. You will see this kind of logo here of the spectacles. And upon opening it and taking out the pull me, you'll immediately see kind of LED indicators of how many charges there are on this device so far. Now, with this case, you can charge up to 4 times, and you release the glasses by pulling where that indicator was. There is like a magnetic component that actually charges the glass. So initially, I tried to pull it from the back. I wouldn't recommend that. Just pull it from the front. You can take it out. So these glasses, to be honest, fit really well to my face. It snaps right on. The weight of it isn't too heavy. There's a number 3 on the tip. It says designed by Snap Inc. on the inside. And it's basically a metal unit all the way across the top, and then you get the lens on the bottom. To set up this device, it's relatively straightforward. You turn on Bluetooth on your phone, go to your Snapchat app, go to the spectacles section, and then you hold press the shutter for about 7 seconds. Now upon doing that, it'll ask you for a name for your spectacles. And then much like you would sync like AirPods or Beats, it asks for the name of the device that you're trying to sync to. And just because you named it already, that process is pretty smooth. This takes 1728 by 1728 photos and 1216 by 1216 videos at 60 frames per second. The neat part about this device is that it does have a 2D field of view of 105 degrees and a 3D field of view of 86. Now you really won't be able to tell that big of a difference. I'll get to that in a little bit. But finally, it has an f-stop of 2.2. And it's not water resistant like I mentioned in the previous video. In terms of the function of using this, you have shutters on both sides. And in order to take a video, you press once and you get an indicator here that shows that it's recording. Now the odd thing I found about this is that if I click here, there's an indicator on this side. If I click the shutter here, there's an indicator on this side. I'm thinking it's supposed to be both sides, but something is wrong with my glasses. I gotta talk to Snapchat about that. Now, as I was saying, you can click this to take the video. You can click it up to 6 times with a total of 6 snaps covering a minute-long video sequence. And in order to take a photo, you hold press. And there's a different kind of indicator for that. Now, there's also a peripheral indicator that you won't be able to see inside the glass that indicates when the recording or picture is being taken, and blinking to let you know that it's about to stop. Now, if you're wondering, while you're taking a video, you could also hold press to stop it, and that shortens your video. Now, from a design perspective, one thing I will mention is that, on the phone, you take a video by clicking the shutter, and then you hold press to take the video. I was wondering if they should have, brought that same kind of interaction model to the physical buttons itself. I wouldn't have minded actually for one click to be taking a photo and a hold press to initiate video. And because there's an indicator that lets you know when the video is about to stop, hold press isn't actually that bad of an idea. Now, the way that you sync with the Snapchat app itself is that you go to the main photo viewer, you swipe up, and you will see kind of a new box here that indicates imports from your spectacles. Now, the annoying thing about this is that you can't delete any of the videos you have taken prior to importing, which means that you will have to go through the import process in order to, delete files or manage those files. The another annoying thing is that upon pressing import, it does ask you to connect with spectacles via Wi-Fi every time, and that in itself takes a while. So if I were you, I would take, videos and photos throughout the day and then, do your import process much like you would do on any digital camera today after your sessions. Now, to give you an idea of what the footage looks like, I'm going to be doing a pan of my room and then show you the ways in which you can view it. Now, something unique about the footage you take on the spectacles is that, no matter how you roll your phone, the footage stays the same. It gives a neat effect, but however, if you try to pan it, it doesn't really do much. And surprisingly, that's kind of what I expected out of this footage. This was definitely not what I expected. But regardless, it's, pretty interesting. You can take neat kind of boomerang-like photos with this by clicking the 3D button here. So upon clicking that, it shrinks to this circle video. You get a slider from which you could pan to different parts of the video. And for any of this footage, it does this little tilt effect. Now, something that's kind of weird is that when you go into edit mode, you're gonna, apply messaging or speed up the video or whatnot, it crops it so much that the footage actually doesn't look that nice. And the panning is kind of a little, I don't know, a little too abrupt. And at the end of it, the boomerang or whatever we want to call it isn't really that smooth. And that's something that I was kind of disappointed about, to be honest. Here's a photo I took earlier last week. Just like the video, you can roll it and the positioning is the same. Now, that pan effect I talked to you about earlier, it actually works better on photo mode. You put it into 3D mode again, and you can't really notice it in this video, but the pan is a little more noticeable than the video footage I took earlier. Now, for any of this footage, you can click the More menu and click View in VR. And what that does is gives you a unique view like this, in which you can view all your videos and footage in a 3D viewer. Just like all the packaging we've seen today, this also has a sleeve. You'll notice that nice kind of outline detail that you've seen consistent throughout the packaging. The way that you assemble this is that you take off the Velcro top, and inside you'll see kind of this other piece. You flip it all the way around so that the Velcros snap together as such. It's pretty easy. It's hard to see on this video, but there are instructions that explain how to put this together. Lastly, slip your phone into the device, put the flap back on. There is a white line that should align with the cutout in the nose bridge. Now, there's a clicker on top which you can swipe between videos and photos. And I would say the best way to explain this footage is that, when you watch 3D videos in the theaters, there's a certain amount of depth you won't get in regular video. That's exactly what you get with this 3D viewer. Now, I'll be honest with you, while the concept is cool, if you do look in the outer edges of your video or image, there are some blurry spots which become a distraction. Alright, so that's the video. If there's anything else regarding Spectacles 3 that I have not answered in this video, make sure to comment down below and let me know what you want to see next. I'm actually working on a coding course for designers. I'm thinking of a 10-part series in which you can learn how to apply HTML, CSS, and jQuery to enhance your prototyping skills. Yo, I forgot to turn off Korean Siri since my last video on the iPhone 11 iOS, and it's talking to me right now. Anyways, to conclude, yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you all next time.